Conor McGregor has not fought in the UFC since July 2021, but he continues to make headlines with his social media activity as he deleted a tweet after UFC 298. Conor McGregor quickly took down a tweet after his predictions for UFC 298 proved wide of the mark. Irish superstar McGregor hasn't fought since July 2021, when he broke his leg in a loss to Dustin Poirier. The 35-year-old is on the comeback trail, but for now, he's watching the other fighters closely. The Notorious likes to use social media to share his thoughts on fights and to tease other fighters. Before UFC 298, McGregor tweeted, "Awesome night of UFC fights tonight. Gary is going to run through Jeff in the first round. Volk will get hurt early but come back and KO Ilya. Over in 2 rounds. Costa and Whitaker will have a good 3-round exchange, as will Merab and Henry. Have a good evening, everyone." But the ex-UFC featherweight and lightweight champion later removed the tweet after things didn't turn out as he thought they would. His fellow Irishman Ian Gary's match with Jeff Neal lasted until the end, and Gary won by split decision, even though McGregor said he'd win in the first round. Alexander Volkanovski, who McGregor thought would win, was knocked out in the second round by Ilia Topuria. Even though he didn't get all the predictions wrong, McGregor still decided to try and get rid of the evidence. Topuria, who recently won the UFC featherweight championship at UFC 298, has challenged McGregor to a high-profile fight. Despite not having fought in the lightweight category for several years, the Spanish fighter is eager to take on one of the sport's biggest names. Dana White, "It's showtime, it's time to take the UFC to Spain," Topuria announced after his fight. "Conor McGregor, if you still have some balls, I will be waiting for you in Spain." McGregor responded on Instagram, "I have huge balls. I've 4 kids." Topuria wasn't the only one to mention McGregor that Saturday. Gary, who kept his unbeaten record in the UFC, expressed his desire to share a card with the UFC legend when he makes his much-anticipated comeback. "There's a certain superstar called Conor McGregor. He's looking to fight in July in International Fight Week against Michael Chandler," Gary said. "That's a huge fight. You have the biggest superstar of all time in the sport. But he's also Irish. What's the perfect way to represent the Irish? To put me in the co-main event. Fighting Chaos Colby Covington. So you've got Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler main event, co-main, Ian Machado Gary versus Colby Chaos Covington. That would be a big night for the Irish, a big night for the UFC, and a big night in my book to silence that mouthpiece."